Kevin, come in. Kevin, please, lay down. So, what seems to be the problem?
The problem? The problem? The fucking problem's you!
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to episode 2. Time's a charm.
Alright, we're here. We made it.
Anyways, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Swartley Show. Episode 2.
Yeah. We filmed a lot of fun content before this.
Yeah, we went to Dallas.
Yes. Oh, elaborate on the Goodfill trip.
Yeah, so if y'all don't know, we're part of a organization called FSA.
Yes.
And every year they have this event.
Yeah.
It's like a tournament, basically, for like sports, dances, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Filipino Student Association.
Yep. So we went to Dallas. I drove, and Bree drove another car with other people, and Alan, Alonzo, and I drove Kevin.
Yeah.
So during that.
So me and him had some fun content with music.
Mm-hmm.
We did
Snacks.
like snacks, yeah.
So that's an episode of its own.
Yeah.
And we decided to redo our episode 2 because we didn't properly do the first one. And
No. And we reviewed it, and wow, it was something to improve on.
We've got work to do.
Yeah, we've got work to do.
But I think we're back and better right now. So.
And we're here.
Welcome back.
Talk about the.
Oh yeah, so
yeah.
as you can see, we love Starbucks. We drink it like almost all the time.
We need to slow down on it, but
We do, but that doesn't mean we can't ever be sponsored by Starbucks. So I came up with this little saying.
Yeah.
What is it, Kevin? What is it?
SSSS, the quadruple S or triple S?
SSS.
We can do triple S.
For quadruple S.
Okay.
And that stands for Starbucks Sponsor Swartley Show.
Yes.
So SSSS.
I like 3. Let's stick with 3.
Starbucks sponsor Swartley.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Triple S. So we're gonna stick with that. Starbucks, if you see this, please sponsor us.
Yes, please.
Small growing
Podcast show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slash show.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today, Kevin?
That's great. We are talking about what are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about transitioning to the real world. The real world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, out there with all the strangers.
Yep.
All the people you don't know.
Plus taxes, money,
Taxes, money, survival.
survival.
And all that is scary.
Yeah. I think. What do you think the hardest part about like going into the real world is?
I think just getting a foothold on what it's like to be away from family. You know what I mean? Some people stay with family, so it's all perspective.
True,
What do you think?
True. I think it's not sticking to a certain schedule. 'Cause college, right? School in general, like I feel like there's a certain schedule.
Yeah.
There's break, there's holidays, there's like you have to go to school at a certain time. come
There's
back at
deadlines.
certain deadlines.
Yeah.
So you know when, kind of like when to do the work, and when to chill and stuff, right? But
Yeah.
I
And
think-
you have free time. A lot
Yeah.
of free time.
there's a lot of free time. You're right. I think we take that for granted too. Like when we're in school, we're like, I have no free time.
Yeah.
You look at it, it's like, oh, we have a lot of free time.
Yeah.
Like to an extent. I mean, like, you know.
And what we do with that free time is very important because I learned that throughout my first couple years of college, I was not utilizing my free time to what I know now to like the max extent it could have been,
Yeah, true.
which has now shown me what I should be doing right now. So
That is true. I unfortunately am still struggling with that.
Yeah.
But
we all are.
I have more of a grasp on it. I think, kind of like kicking me in the face right now that like I have to stop wasting my time and start utilizing it more.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing is like, post grad, if you don't have a job, you have to look for a job.
Yeah.
And I think that in and of itself is a job.
Yeah.
To look for a job.
Oh boy, yeah. We're both currently looking for jobs right now.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard because I feel like our majors, psychology major,
Finance.
it's very broad. So, for me personally, I think it's kind of like I either need a license to go into a practice, or I need a higher degree to be able to get a good, well-paying job, or like even decent job.
That's funny because I was in this Microsoft event, and they were talking about how, like some positions out there in the real world, like they have, like you don't have to have that specific major in order to get into that specific role. They really just want how you communicate and how can you use your soft skills, which are really important to help their business like grow. Like, yeah.
So I could like literally just, yeah, I see what you're saying, because I keep being in that mindset of, oh, I need to do something with psychology.
Yeah.
I don't have to. But I think it's what I want to do, kind of, I guess. I'm still figuring it out, obviously.
No, yeah.
But you mentioned soft skills.
Yeah.
What is that? I've never heard of that.
So soft skills is like, that's a great question. Like communication is one of them.
Okay.
Which is one of the most important, because I think in life you're always communicating. You need to be able to communicate well with your family, other relationships, your coworkers, your boss, your friends, the podcast.
Most definitely. Yeah, that's a good point.
What do you think about communication, and as a whole?
Here's the thing. I think communication. I don't know. I think I'm pretty well versed for the most part.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the professional setting, I screw up. I screw up because.
Professional as in interview?
No, not necessarily interview, because then I know to not like joke around all the time and stuff.
Right.
But I think I'm thinking more in terms of like talking to people I don't really know that are in a professional like manner, I guess. For example, what was his name? James
Martin?
Yeah, James Martin, for example. Like, I'm not going to talk to him the way I talk to Evelyn or Peter.
Right.
Right? So, I think I get in my head too much, and I just like, what do I say? And I start stuttering and stuff. So
okay.
I kind of just, I have to be myself, but also make sure like I distinguish between professional and, I guess, friendly.
Oh, like the conversation you're currently having, like, say it was more like, professional.
Yeah.
More professional conversation.
Like the other day when we were over there with George.
I remember.
And he came over. I was like, oh my god. He's in a suit. He's such a very like a professional guy.
He's carrying himself well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I'm like, I can't be like, hey, what's up, man? You know, like with Peter, I'll be like, hey, what's up, Peter? Blah blah. Right. But him, James, like I don't know James like that, so I can't be like. So
yeah.
Like I would. There were times where I would like say sir and ma'am and stuff like that. All the time. I always say that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but.
No, I would. Yeah. Also, it's like just respect.
It's just natural for me, for us. Yeah. But so like it's like that, for example. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, what's up, hey, what's up, man.
Yeah.
So and then I get in my head. I'm like, oh crap, how do I talk to him? But then like I don't know. I figure it out usually, but that's the one thing about communication for me. Do you have trouble with that too, or?
I trouble with elaborating on like what I'm trying to convey to someone else. Usually, like I'll say like a short response, but then I don't really know how to explain afterwards a little bit more on what I was trying to say, which is what I'm trying to improve on right now.
Okay. Is it like getting to the point, or is it do you get
elaborating on the point?
Oh, okay, I see.
Like say what are your greatest strengths? Like I'll say it, and it's hard for me to develop and tell a story, so I'm currently trying to tell stories.
Okay, but like, what did you say? That's a plus in interviews and stuff, or like I guess like. Whoa. You swallowed too fast.
Yeah.
You good?
We're back. Hold on. Okay. What did you say?
I said, what did you say? That's a plus though, like in interviews and stuff, like getting straight to the point. Like you don't want to like just ramble on, because that's what I have trouble with. So it's like
back to this Microsoft event. There was this guy called Willie. Shout out Willie. He said he was interviewing, and they were, correct me if I'm wrong, they were talking about like, he was talking about the weather and how it's bad, and they were talking about the flood, like the whole interview, and at the end of it, she was
Willie?
like, yeah, Willie, who's interviewing for a Microsoft position. Yeah, he was just talking with a interviewer about how they were dealing with the flood, and like they didn't even get to the like proper questions.
Oh shoot!
And she was like, you know what, Willie, I really trust you, I respect you, like boom.
Damn.
Yeah. So I think that's why communication and like telling your story very like well and showing like you have a emotional response from the other person. I mean,
so you got the job or the interview?
Yeah, he has a job. Yeah.
Just by talking about the flood and preparations for it.
Bro, I think he's making over 200K. And he was a
Holy
teacher.
Shit, man.
He was a teacher, no experience in tech, no experience in like sales. Well, teacher, you're like kind of like using sales, but
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, like with the teacher, I would assume you gain such like
Great, yeah.
Like, cause you got to talk with not only other teachers and like the principal, for example. You also have to talk with the students, and you kind of have to, I think that's where, I'm thinking of the word compartmentalize.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in your mind you can automatically switch between professional and informal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Without really thinking about it. I think sometimes I'm good with that, but sometimes I'll think about it too much, and then I'll stumble.
Right. How do you tell your story? You know what I mean?
How do I tell my story?
Yeah. All right. Have you like ever trained on telling your story, like how you say it, wrote it down?
I think my problem is not with telling a story. I think my problem is telling too much of the story. Like, I'll be telling a story, for example. Like, I'll be like, back in high school, you know, I was in orchestra and I was nominated to go play at Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
And I used that event and opportunity to further develop my social skills and my professional skills. That's what I want to say. Yeah. I think that's like, that was actually pretty good. Yeah. I think that was that good?
No, that was good. That was good.
I think that's my main point. Right. But what I would catch myself doing is like, instead of telling that story, I'd be like, oh, back when I was in high school, I'd only been playing for like three years and I don't have that much experience. And we had this program where my conductor, my teacher would like, nominate people from the orchestra to go play there, and then it was I played this piece called The Swan, and blah 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? I go into like too many details. It's because I'm passionate about it. Yeah, which is a good thing, and I hope that if I ever catch myself doing that in an interview, people see that. Yeah. But
that's good because you're trying to capture emotional response from the other person with the details you're providing them. Yeah, yeah. But you don't want to provide too many. Exactly. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so I'm working on it. The first example I just did, but like the really good one,
Carnegie Hall.
I just pulled that on my ass. Like that was really good, but yeah, I think that's definitely a struggle. Yeah. But of course we're working on it, so. I think we're getting better at it too. Like, yeah. And it also helps with this podcast because when we go back to edit,
we review what we're saying, and I am not happy with myself. Let's just say that.
We'll both like all of a sudden when there's a moment that we didn't like, we just look at each other and start laughing. Like, what the hell was that? Yeah, that's so weird.
I've noticed that I say like random things sometimes, and I'm trying to not do that anymore.
What do you think that is? Have you always done that, or
maybe it was a fit in copinism?
Copinism. Coping mechanism.
Coping mechanism. Oh, I made a word, bro. Maybe
that's a good word. That's a long word.
Coping mechanism.
Say coping.
Copinism.
No, I'm gonna start saying that, bro.
That's funny.
Okay.
Okay.
To fit in.
I guess to fit in, maybe. That might be it. Or, like, whenever there's just nothing to say, and I want to be funny, I'll just try to say something random. Okay. But I realize, like, that's not me, maybe.
Well, I think, you know, you can definitely utilize that. I don't know. Personally, I think the same thing with me is, like, the coping mechanism for me is going into too many details.
The copinism, yeah.
Copinism, yeah. So, I mean, I think I don't completely throw it away. I think you could definitely use it because there's some moments where you do need to just be like random, you know. So,
where you just need to be like a little goofy.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, I think I do too much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you agreed. You agreed.
I'm saying yeah, as in like I'm agreeing with you that in terms of like I'm relating to you. Same with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we work on it. We'll get better at it.
Mm-hmm. What are like some aspects of your life that you want to improve on, like such as communication wise?
Something else besides communication, I would say, is my work ethic.
Okay, not communication. Like, okay, work ethic.
Oh, I mean, I definitely communication.
No. Like in communication.
Oh, in communication.
Like, say you have trouble. Like, I have trouble elaborating on what I want to say and like telling my story. Like, do you have anything in communication? I think you're a very good communicator. So, I'm not sure if you have any. If you're trying to work on anything.
I think. For me.
In that department.
For me, that in that area, for me, it's like just being aware of what I'm saying, but making sure I keep it like short.
Short and concise?
Short and concise, but also like my awareness. Like I don't want to overthink it. Right, so I mentioned earlier I overthink it. I overthink things. In my head. I want to make sure I don't overthink. I want to make sure.
You don't overthink.
I want to make sure I think enough about what I say and how I say things, but not to the point where I overthink.
Is this you trying to be a perfectionist?
In
some sense?
No, I don't think I've ever really been a perfectionist.
No, in terms of what you want to say the best way with the most short version possible and still get the other person to react the way you want to react. Maybe.
I think that's something I should reflect on. It might be that. I think it's it's not really an area that I've really thought about. I think that's a good point though.
I think communication is one of your strengths because you're able to talk for a long time, but you're still able to get content out there. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah. I think I should definitely utilize that.
Yeah. Sometimes our strengths can be our weaknesses, but like I don't know. Well, I was going with that. Never mind. Oops.
Wait. Sometimes our strengths can be our weaknesses, but our weaknesses can also be our strengths.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Is that
the same thing?
Our weaknesses can be our strengths.
Yeah.
Because there's just one thing in my sermons I watch with Joseph Prince. He's a pastor. He says, as a kid, he used to stutter, right? And God used that weakness to turn him into the pastor he is today, where he speaks very professionally and he's influenced a lot of people all over the world on faith, in Jesus Christ.
And I'm sure we'll get to that point one day. I think like I said, this podcast definitely helps. And being aware of it is definitely a first step to it, towards growing and improving upon what we wish to improve on.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what was the pastor's name again?
Pastor's name? Joseph Prince.
Is he an inspiration of yours?
He's one of the biggest inspirations.
Okay. Yeah. So in terms of inspirations, who do you like? I blanked out.
No, Joseph Prince is one of my inspirations because the way he talks about Jesus Christ and what the Bible is trying to elaborate, like the way he teaches his teachings and like all that combined. And when it comes to me, I'm like, I really understand. Like, oh no, not really understand. I understand more. Like, I'm hungry to learn more. You know, he gives me that hunger.
That's good.
To keep chasing after what Christ is and his way of life.
And I think those type of people are the people that we should look up to as like inspirations. Like those people who you want to look up to that make you want to learn more. Whereas there's just some people who try, but you don't really feel like a connection towards.
What's your greatest? Or not greatest. Who is one inspiration like this year that you've been interested in?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just like
One person
Okay.
that you admire right now.
I'm sure I've mentioned someone before. I don't think like anyone's coming to the top of my head.
I can mention one that
Okay.
I think you said.
Yeah.
You like
please.
George Janko.
Oh yes, I was thinking of him too, but I was like, wait, like I think I look up to him as like more of a podcast inspiration.
Yeah.
And I think just as a person too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, like I feel like I haven't listened to like a lot of like all his episodes, but there are a couple that I've listened to. Like his first episode since he came out with the George Janko show.
Yeah. What do you like? What do you like about him?
I think I like, first of all, the way, like I said, I don't know a lot about him, but from what I've seen, I like the way that he branched out from Logan Paul's Impulsive. Like, he was on there, he wanted to talk about what he believed in, his faith and stuff, and he felt like he couldn't on the Impulsive show.
Mm-hmm.
Impulsive, if you guys want to, what's it called, interact, or what's it called? Collab, no hate, I'm just saying.
Don't hate, reciprocate.
Reciprocate love.
Wait, you reciprocate love.
But I love that he had the willingness and the, I guess, the drive to branch out and make his own podcast.
The amount of fear to just.
Oh yeah, and I would imagine with such a big influencer like Logan Paul, like how do you just like branch out, like get away by yourself, you know? Like,
not fear but worry. Like
it is. I think it's both. Like I think you fear like. Well, how am I going to be looked at if I decide to, like, separate myself from this such a big influencer, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that's beautiful because a lot of people will stay with such, like, big influencers.
Because they're comfortable.
Because they're comfortable and because maybe they want clout or something. And the fact that I think George Janko decided to do his own thing goes to show he's not there for clout.
Right.
He's not there for just the fame and the glory. He's there to really do what he wants to do, and that is by spreading the message of his belief, which is in God.
Yeah.
And his relationship with God.
Yeah, which is so beautiful.
Yeah, and so I listened to his first episode. Dude, I was so happy for him because I listened to Impulsive, and like, not anymore, but like the last few episodes with him in it, I realized like, damn, like they really kind of like just shut him down sometimes. And like, he doesn't really get a say in a lot of things.
What do you mean shut him down? Like what are they doing?
I don't know. You haven't listened to.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so there are times where he will talk about God.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, guys, I've mentioned it before. I'm not a believer. That sounds bad. I'm not Christian. I'm not Christian or Catholic. I'm Buddhist, but I love all the religions in the world, right? And I love learning.
I love all the religions.
That sounds really weird. I'm sorry.
I love all of them.
I respect everybody's beliefs.
Yeah, you respect
their religion, and I love learning about them. So to hear someone else talk about their beliefs on someone else's podcast and get shut down because he would talk about God, and then Logan Paul and this guy named Mike, their other friend, they would always be like, "Oh, here you go again talking about God." And
oh wait, I've seen clips of that.
Yeah. So they
but
would
it's
do
not
that.
no shade.
No. I mean, it's you do what you want to do, but still, I think it hurt because when I was younger, people made fun of my religion, and so
that's carrying right now.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like it's carrying with you that people hurt.
Yeah, so I related to George Janko in that way. So I was like, when he decided to do his own thing, I was like, good for you, man. Like I'll support you like to the fullest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's definitely an inspiration. It gives. I don't think about it much. I don't really think about inspiration. I'm talking a lot again. I'm sorry.
No, keep going.
But I should think about inspirations more, because I think right now in my daily life, something I'm struggling with is like, this is gonna be a long ass episode, but I think we're having a good time.
Yeah, I think I'm enjoying it.
Maybe we could split it up into
part two. Like
okay,
George Janko part 1, Andrew Tate.
Part 2. We're at 25 minutes. Jesus.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cut it here for part 1, and then we'll re-record for part 2.
Yeah.
But let's
dap on the end.
I think this is
let's dap on the end.
Coming to an end. Yeah, let's dap at the end, and then thank y'all for watching.
Wait, let's do a closure because we didn't close really well.
True.
Okay, so you're talking about how George Nichols one of your inspirations.
Yeah.
You want to think about more inspiration. Why do you think you need to think more about inspirations?
I think that ties into a lot of different things that I'm kind of going through in life right now. Not saying that like we'll do a hard time or anything. It's just like
No, everybody has hard times.
That I'm at that point in life where I'm not. I guess like I'm not really aware of the things I'm doing in day to day, which I think we should talk about
Next podcast?
in the next episode.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's a whole other story, right?
Right.
And I don't want to take too much of this podcast time.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good ending to part 1.
It's a good closing.
Because we talked a lot about communication, professionalism, things that, are going on in the professional world and stuff, or for us. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Nian.
I've been Kevin. And this is the... Oh, yeah, we say it together, right? This is the Swartley Show.
I forgot about that. Please like, subscribe, comment, follow our Instagram.
And please comment, what you think.
Any future topics, maybe?
Yeah, topics you want us to discuss, because we're 2 graduating college seniors. And we're looking for jobs.
So yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah,
We're
I don't know why I added that.
No,
that's funny.
Great
that's
point.
funny.
This could be our job, so maybe. All right.
If I want 500,000 subscribers by the next episode, that was good.
I could buy them.
No. All right. Peace.